So, like I said, David Shapiro standing by to talk through those markets with us. As always, David, thank you very much for your time. Let's start with the overall market. I said that the JSE did end off flat on the trading day, not a lot of movement, but we did see the heavyweights, Prosus and Naspers, put a little bit of pressure on the local bourse.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Now Naspers has received permission to sell the Prosus that it bought and to buy more Naspers. So I think we're getting financial engineering that's difficult to keep up, and I think that's why, to a large extent, Prosus was under pressure today, and a bit of Naspers. So a lot has to do with the buying back of these shares, the selling of Tencent and buying back of these shares. But to be honest, I think we also have to look at a bigger picture, because we're fighting three fronts at the moment. We're fighting the Chinese economy, which is also causing disturbances. In other words, we're not quite sure where they're heading with their lockdowns. And then you're fighting Europe. You mentioned oil prices and gas prices. That's causing headaches. And then the United States. So, I mean, we have to unravel three markets. And I'm ignoring South Africa, for the meantime. But I mean, it just gives you an understanding of how difficult it is, and how the pressure in three markets is going to continually play into our market as well.
Let's talk about the rand, David. I mean, that's been quite a wild ride for the local unit. I mean, touched 17 rand 30. It's now backtracked a little bit, I think, at around 17.18 at the moment. But the huge volatility we're seeing in this emerging market currency, is that solely a dollar strength story, or are there some other pointers to look at?
No, it's purely dollar strength, and this could get stronger. Against the backdrop that I just painted now, of a weakening China, of a weakening Europe. Euro, we don't know where the euro is going to go. It's at a 20-year low. The pound is under severe pressure as well. So I think we will be caught in the crossfire, and the dollar, as long as interest rates keep going up in the United States, it's going to draw cash there. It's going to be safe haven. It's the safe play. You can't go into bond markets. You can't go into equity markets. You can't go into property markets. So people will be buying the dollar, putting their money on short-term dollar assets. So this could drive the dollar stronger. We saw it at 17.40 at one stage. It has recovered. But I think, we'll wait for America to open again after Labor Day to see where this all goes.
And of course, with the price of Brent crude ticking up again, and this weaker rand, this petrol price cut that I just spoke about earlier might be the last one for a while. Anyway, David, let's move on to some company news out today. So Bidvest, absolutely solid set of results. I mean, I got to speak to the CEO earlier on, Mpumi, and she was pretty chuffed about the work that the company is doing despite the current operating environment. What did you make of their results?
A superb result. And I think, credit goes back to the Joffy days, and I'm not taking anything away from the current CEO, but the whole foundation of the company, which is service-based or distributed, it's distributorship, service, and so on. I think it just allows the company to do well in the kind of climate that we are at the moment. So I think it's a company with a very solid base. And I'm so pleased that the results were as good as they were. They came off a low base, but still, I think you can expect more. And they were very chuffed with themselves, and have all right to be so. The market didn't respond because I think it had been telegraphed. That's the wrong word, hey? What's the new word? Signal. I'm going to use signal. Telegraph just shows my age. But I mean, it had been signaled to the market before. So, and that's why the market didn't respond. But that doesn't take anything away from the good results.
No, it doesn't. And they're very optimistic about operations both in South Africa and the UK. So let's see what the next period is going to be looking like for them. David Shapiro, as always, thank you very much for your time this evening. And